Okay. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It is February 14th, 2017, and we are talking self-love. Discover how loving yourself is the recipe to having him love you. Hosted by moi, Denise Dominguez. So welcome everyone to the self-love training call. I want to acknowledge you being here tonight. And kudos for you investing this time in yourself. My name is Denise Dominguez, and if you don't know about me, here is a bullet point of how I'm able to be here teaching self-love, this self-love stuff to you. So I'm going to give you a little cliff note journey of my story into self-love. And this all started with me actually choosing me and started to take action steps into loving myself, which that first one was leaving my toxic relationship of over 22 years. That was the first thing that I did. And then shortly after that, I know I always talk about this Colorado story, but it's got such beautiful messages in it. And so here was the other one. After I left and I was in transition between Florida and North Carolina, I had this offer. If you follow me, you know about this story, so I'll give you the very bullet point part of it. My daughter came to me and said, "Hey, Mom, let's help some friends that are in Colorado." So the plan was to fly from South Florida to Colorado, stay there for X amount of time, help them, and drive them back. So drive from Colorado down to South Florida. And so this was another pivotal moment in my life where I chose me. And the conversation that went in my head went like this. So when it first came to me, of course, like I said, I was in transition of moving from Florida to North Carolina. So my first thought was, no, I can't do this. I need to save money. I had to have a certain amount of money in my head first, and then in my pocket to leave Florida. So that was my first thought. And then my second thought was this. Okay, Denise, so if you were still married, you wouldn't be allowed to do this trip because he wouldn't let me. And now you're letting money stand in the way. You're letting money be an excuse. So in that moment, I chose me and I said yes to this trip. Now, mind you, I had never been in Colorado before. So this is just another story of me choosing me and choosing what I wanted to do. And so the end result was I was in Colorado for 10 days, had an amazing time, experienced that beautiful state, and went white river rafting, and still manifested the $10,000 that I needed to leave Florida. So that's just a couple of stories that I like to tell, and how just some examples of self-love. So we're going to be interactive in this call. So pull up your chat box, because tonight I'm going to be asking questions, and that is where you can have them answered, or you can ask. Just pull up the chat box. So let's do some house cleaning. This call, ladies, is just for you. So make yourself a priority for the next 30 to 40 minutes. That means close out your other tabs on your computer, put your cell phone on silent, and just be here with me and do you, right? This is about you. Hopefully you are in a relaxing place to listen to the call, and I call it my sacred space. So you have that one space in your house where you can go and listen to these calls, or maybe meditate. Have your tea, water, or whatever next to you, and just really be here with me, and let's just focus on you, because this is for you. So let's take a couple of deep breaths just to be present. So breathe in and hold it for 4 seconds. Let it all out. Try to sip some more in. I love that. All right. So I always go into like where I'm at now and all the awesome things that I have going on now. And then I get to where I was. So if you know and you follow me, then you know that I hosted a radio show on Blog Talk called It's Your Turn Radio. I am a speaker, and my speech is Own Your Story so your story doesn't own you. And most recently, I am a 2-time best-selling author and an international author. What? How awesome is that, right? And actually this year, I will be an international speaker. How does it get any better than that? So from dark to light, you know, I talk about like all the wonderful things that I got going on now, but things weren't always this awesome in my life. And after 22 years of being in a very toxic marriage, I decided it was time to choose me, and it was time to leave. I left and moved 3 states away, and I had no job, and managed to manifest that $10,000 that I was talking about earlier to leave Florida. And that's not including the 10 days in Colorado that I was telling you about. And I did this in 5 months. I made a plan and followed it and did everything that I set out to do. I became a women's empowerment coach after knowing I wanted to help women get out of that stuck space that they're in like I was. And it's been my focus and goal ever since. So let me ask you, do you ever wonder why you don't have what you want out of life? Why you're not in that happy space that you desire? Have you ever thought, okay, I think I know what self-love is, but don't have the answer? Did you start to practice self-love, but then life got in the way, so you stopped? Tonight, I'm going to answer this and more for you. Tonight, I am diving deep into what self-love is and how to love yourself and why it's important to love yourself. I'm going to recommend a really great book for you too. All right. So what's love got to do with it? In the beginning of 2015, I put together an interview series called What's Love Got to Do with It? This was the start of my journey into self-love, a deeper level of what I had already known about self-love. Funny thing is, I thought I knew what self-love was, but in actuality, clueless. All right, so I chose this topic for my interview series because I thought I knew what self-love was, but I wanted to dig deeper. I wanted to hear from the experts, and I wanted to know what self-love was, and I wanted to really, truly, and clearly understand what self-love looked like, how to have it, how to express it, how to practice it, everything. The whole shawana shebang bang. So through this event of interviewing and connecting all this juicy information, I wanted to pass this information on to you. So through this online event, I met my coach and found out what it was that I wanted to teach in my coaching business. I changed my coaching name from divorce coach to women's empowerment coach. I found that self-love is a practice, not taught in school. So I want to talk about that too. You know, all this stuff that we learn in personal development, you know, when we go to school and we graduate from high school, we're supposed to be prepared for life. But this is what prepares you for life, because self-love is truly the foundation of you having everything that you desire in life, not math. So be patient and kind to yourself. How to love yourself. Like I said, self-love is a practice, not a race. The more you practice, the better you get at it, and your world will start to change. Ideas of practicing meditation, self-talk, being patient with yourself, being kind to yourself, inside and out. Doing the things that light you up. Sitting on the beach and just being with yourself. Looking up at the stars at night with just you and your thoughts. What makes you happy? What lights you up? Doing those things is loving yourself. Taking time for you and having things around you that you love to have, see, or smell. Like flowers or roses or even just one. And that should be a practice that you do for yourself. Once a week, get yourself some pretty flowers, your favorite ones. And even if you can't get a whole bouquet every week, you can certainly grab one, right? It's just a reminder. It's something to show you that you are practicing loving you. Your favorite color flower, anything like that that lights you up and makes you happy. So self-love is an action. Now, I gave you the cliff notes of when I left my marriage. I want to give you a little bit of the backstory. For so many years, I was doing for everybody else, right? And the more I did for everybody else, the more I put myself further and further and further on the back burner. So much so that I always remember this pops in my head. There was a time when, and it's a whole long drawn out story, so I'm going to give you the very, very cliff notes of it. When my ex and I and our two children were sitting in a counselor's office, and I remember the room was set up kind of rectangular, and my children were over there in the corner, and then it was my ex, and then it was me, and then here was the door. And I remember the counselor going through, asking my kids and asking my ex and things like that. And then she came to me and she said, well, what about you? What are you doing for you? And I remember saying, no, I'm good. I'm a warrior. I got this. Don't worry about me, counselor, because you don't know what you're talking about. I'm here for them. And this was a very traumatic time that we had just gone through in our life. That's why we were at the counselor's office. And even then, I put myself on the back burner and put everybody else before me. So that just gives you a glimpse of where I was that time in my life and putting where I was on the scale, right? On the food chain, where I was and putting myself as a priority. I wasn't. So when I completed my self-love interview series where I asked 22 experts, what is self-love? The answers were slightly different, but the messages were always the same. But the one I liked the most was this: prioritize yourself. Make time for yourself. Take time for you. In short, choose you. So that's a tip that I always give when people ask me when I'm doing interviews, and they'll say, what's the one thing that you could do, or you could give a tip or a tool to somebody, and that's what I say. I say, choose you. Put yourself as a priority, because it's time. It's time. All right, here is a way of explaining self-love. Because I'm a parent, it's easy for me to explain it this way. But even if you're not a parent, if maybe you're a parent to a fur baby, you'll understand. When I first had my daughter, I was astounded that me, little old Denise Dominguez, created this perfect human being, right? Do you feel like that? Or did you feel like that when you had your baby? So as a mom, I wanted to give her the best of everything, the best food for her belly, the best bathing products to wash her with, best crib, on and on, the best everything, right? And so when you love somebody that much that you will do anything to protect, love, and care for them, you've experienced what true, deep, compassionate love is. And that is what self-love is, turned inside out. So why do we do this for our children, but not even for ourselves? And I've been guilty of this too. I do things that I would not let my daughter do. I eat things that I wouldn't let her eat. Yet, I still do this sometimes. Oh! When my daughter was older, around 16 or 17, she told me this, and it really opened my eyes. She said that when I looked in the mirror and talked to myself out loud, she would hear me and see herself in my words. So here's an example of what I would say. Oh my God, this t-shirt makes me look so fat. Or, damn, I look like shit today. Do you ever say this to yourself? Be so careful of how you talk to yourself. That mind chatter, that internal dialogue, it's actually abuse. That's abuse to ourselves. So we need to really be mindful of what we're saying to ourselves. And it goes back to that. Be kind to yourself and love yourself and be patient. Right? So maybe in your thoughts or out loud. I'm sure many of us have. And although we do not mean to be so cruel to ourselves and have no idea of how damaging this is for us or little ones that can hear us, yet we still do it. So from here on, let's become incredibly mindful of where we still speak poorly about ourselves, and let's make a commitment to stop it. Every time we throw ourselves under the bus, we reinforce that unhealthy internal dialogue. So no more of that. Type no more in the chat box if you agree to this. And then let's just sit with that for a second. Let's talk about that. Because our self-talk and our self-chatter and the internal dialogue that we have with ourselves, I get it all the time when I'm on the phone with clients, and I know that I am so guilty of this myself. I've gotten a lot better at this. However, there's still times that I catch myself, and I catch myself saying things. For example, today when I did the Facebook Live, I just did it right before we got on this call. What's the first thing I said? I was like, oh no, look at this mop, right? I mean, we're so quick to criticize ourselves, and that's not an expression of love. Think about that little 5-year-old, that little 4-year-old that really comes out of the bedroom, wakes up and has bedhead and snot running down his or her nose, or whatever. They are just themselves. They're being authentic. They don't care about what other people think. They don't care what people are going to say. They're just them. Right? That's who we are. Why do we care so much about what people think? Why did I say that about my hair? That looks like a mop. Who cares? What's the difference? Doesn't make a difference. I love me. I love myself. Okay. So why should I love myself? Why love and why not like myself? Or I accept myself. Why is it so important to love myself? So here's a quote from Kamal Ravikant. It goes like this. If you've ever been a baby, you've experienced love. The mind knows it on a fundamental, even primal level. So unlike most words, love has the ability to slip past the consciousness and into the subconsciousness where magic happens. When we do this, love ourselves, love yourself, you are laying down the pathways, the brick upon brick, building up and reinforcing the connections between the neurons in your brain. Our minds have a strong wiring for love. Our bodies know that love nurtures and that love is gentle and accepting. Finally, it knows that love heals. And that's what we are all here for. Healing. So before we go on to the next slide, I want to just sit with that for a second, because that's why it's so important that you should love yourself and use that term. So if you're a client of mine and you're on here, you already know where this came from. This came from one of the books that we read in my groups called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. And it's from Kamal Ravikant. And it's an easy read. It's a great book. And there's a really big practice in there. Simple, 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 but it's a really great practice. And it's just really using I love myself as an anchor. And it's a practice to go throughout the day and say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. Get in the habit of saying that. I love myself, I love myself. Don't question it. Don't read too much into it. Just do it. Just do it. Because love has the ability to slip past the consciousness and into the subconsciousness where magic happens. All right. And it starts with you. Healing anything starts with you. And you can't heal it if you don't feel it. Here's a practice you can start to do right away. Start saying to yourself, I love myself, over and over. Say it while you're driving, say it in the shower, say it as you're falling asleep or meditating. Just start saying it. Now, here's some good news. As you love yourself, life will love you back. Now, how awesome is that? And if you follow me or have been on a call with me, you know that I love to teach open-ended questions. So how does it get any better than that? All right, let's dive in to why you are here. And I'm thinking that what attracted you to the most to this live training call? What attracted you the most? Was it the hymn in the title? Yeah, of course. We all want that soulmate. We all want our best friend, right? None of us want to live life alone. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, right? Nobody, not that it's not good for you to go out to dinner by yourself, but nobody intentionally wants to go out to dinner by themselves, right? No one wants to be by themselves single on Valentine's Day or Christmas or go to bed at night, Okay, well, guess what? You have to love you in order for you to attract someone to love you. Here's my quote. How can you expect somebody to love and adore you if you don't love and adore yourself? Think about that. Good point, huh? Yes. That's why self-love is the recipe to having him love you. That's why self-love is the foundation to having it all in life. That's why there is 1,000,000,000,000 self-love coaches out there. All teach you how to love yourself. It's a fact. Start with you and see what changes you'll have in your life, the changes that you'll have in your life. Make yourself a priority. Choose you. This is not selfishness. This is healthy. This is important. This is life-changing. So here's an exercise for you to do. Today, make a list or journal things that you love about yourself. This is not conceited. It is a loving reminder for those days when we sometimes forget just how fabulous we really are. And place reminders everywhere, sticky notes, affirmation cards, even on your phone. So I'm going to go to the chat, check in with everybody. And what I want to do is, thank you, Robin. So let's go to, okay. So make a list of things that you love about yourself. So I'm going to put in the chat something that I love about me. It's not my hair today. I love this may not even be a word, but I'm gonna, oh, it is a word. I love my givingness. I love to give. So put in a chat box something that you love about yourself. Anything. It could be the smallest thing. I love my eyes, which that's another thing. I love my eyes. I love my eyes. I love whatever, my hair. I love anything. Just put something in the chat box that you love about yourself. This is a good practice to kind of put yourself out there and do it. All right. And this is also something that you can place reminders everywhere and sticky notes. This is actually my second call I've done today because I did this. Sticky notes, they're everywhere. We need constant reminders of how fabulous we really are. Because the fact is that we get caught up in life. Ooh, I'm going to show you another really good one. Okay? This is a great exercise for you to do. But first, I'm going to check the chat box because I want to make sure you guys are doing this. And I don't see any comments. Come on, you guys. You can find something that you love about yourself. Put it out there. Something that you love. I put 2 things. Because we're so quick to go, oh, I hate this and I hate that. Like today when I was like, my hair looks like a mop, which it really needs to get done. I love my roots. Something that you love about yourself. Okay. So here is something that I did. And I have it on my desk and I cherish it. So if you work with me or if you've been on a call with me, then you're going to know where I'm going with this. When we are 5 and under, we are who we really are. We are our authentic self. We are our true self, and we shine. So I have my clients, and I do this myself, have a picture of yourself at 5 years or younger. It has to be 5 years or younger. Why? Because that's our true self. And when you have that picture right in front of you, it's a reminder of who you really are. So here's my picture of who I really am. I'm going to go over here and see if you can see it. Oh, okay, cool. Wait, let me make sure. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, maybe you can see it now. Let me know if you can see it. I'm in shorts and standing in front of a Christmas tree because I'm from Florida. And I have this on my desk. This stays with me up here. And it's surrounded by roses. And it's a constant reminder of who I really am. Because I need it too. I need to have that reminder of who I really am. And to love myself constantly. Thank you, Robin. This is a practice. This is not something that is going to click and happen overnight, right? Because we didn't get this way in an instant, and we can't unravel it in an instant. But the good news is that there's so many ways for us to do things, to have those reminders, and to stay on track, right? All right. So actions speak louder than words. Let's put some self-love ideas into your daily routine. The goal is for you to do something for yourself at least every week, but ideally every day. So if every day sounds a little too much, overwhelming, start with every week, and then you can go into every day. So after all, you deserve it. Give me some ideas of self-love. Let me know in the chat box. All right, and I'm going to give you some of my ideas. The flowers is one. And like I said, if you can't do a whole bouquet of flowers, you can do one. All right? What's another thing? Taking a yoga class, something that you've wanted to do and that you just haven't set aside time for you to do. Make the time for you to do that. Maybe it's a mani and pedi. I had one of my clients today in our group. She said that because she's single and it's Valentine's Day, she went out to dinner, got chocolate, and a mani and pedi. Like, this is about you doing for you. And if every day is a little too much to start with, that's okay. I know for me, what I do for me every day, at least minimum, is I meditate. So I wake up in the morning and I start my day with slowing things down, right? I get up at 5:30, and believe me, I am not a morning person, but I do this for me. The dogs are sleeping, everybody in the house is sleeping, and I come into my office where you can't see it, but I have my sacred space. It's over there. And my sacred space is simply just a chair that's really comfortable for me to sit in. And I go on YouTube and I pick a guided meditation that I love, and I just slow down. And I do this for me because I deserve it. And you deserve it too. And so you need to do something for you every day. Start with every week. There's no excuses. You can make things happen. Remember, life doesn't happen. You make life happen. Okay? So I think somebody put something in the chat box. Tai Chi class, swimming, and craft group get-togethers. I love that. Hey, and you know what's another great idea? Thanks for saying that, Robin. If meetup.com has some awesome groups that you can join. I mean, from hiking to meditation classes, there's like anything on there. And if you go on Meetup and you don't see something that, they even have like book clubs and stuff. If you don't see something that you like, then you can create a meetup yourself. Okay, awesome, Robin. So Robin says that she's been meditating every morning now for 3 to 4 months, and I love it. So let me ask you, Robin, what's been showing up for you since you've been meditating? Has anything shown up? Has anything changed inside? I'll wait for that. This little thing will shine and tell me. Okay. So thank you so much for being here tonight and choosing you. And thank you for knowing that you are worthy of having your dream life. I hope you continue to make your dream life a priority. And as always, I invite you to get on a 90-minute coaching call with me, free coaching call, okay? In this call, I think there's something in here. Yes, I now can ask questions to help me for the day, and I usually come away with an answer throughout the day. Yes, I love hearing that. Yes, yes, yes. Questions are incredibly awesome, incredibly effective. They work. Here's one that I've been asking since November. What is the next right move for me? And then things were appearing. I totally agree with you, Robin. That's why I teach open-ended questions. They truly, truly work. Thank you for putting that in there. So as I was saying, I invite you to get on a 90-minute free coaching call with me. In this call, I will show you how you are showing up in the world. And I will show you how to strip away the layers of all of the crap that's been put upon you from 5 years old and older to now. And in this call, there's no call to action. I don't tell you about any of my programs or anything because I'm gifting to you 90 full minutes of private coaching with me. So the link is there in the chat box. If you don't have something set up with me, this is the time to do it. Okay? And finally, at the very least, do this. Get into a practice of saying this to yourself over and over. Use this as an anchor in your mind. I love myself. Say this over and over. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And start to notice what shows up for you. All right. What I'm going to do now is I am going to take everybody off of mute. And if you want to say anything, if you have any questions, if you want some coaching, let me know, and I'll use the rest of the time for you. If not, thank you for being here, and I will see you next Tuesday. Remember, you can Thank you. You can find all of the previous Tuesday night classes on my YouTube channel. After I do the live, I upload it on YouTube, so you can find all of those there. All right, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, ladies. And thank you for choosing you, and we'll talk soon.
Yep. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.